The Wellington Phoenix have come off a disappointing 2024-25 A-League men's season. This is despite them that season beforehand having their best season to date in the league, where they finished second to Central Coast Mariners, but then of course got knocked out of that semi-final phase by the Melbourne Victory. But last season they weren't able to repeat that for many changes within the club, and it just seemed to all fall apart for them midway through the season. But this season it seems like there is a big motivation factor for the Phoenix. New arrivals, also some departures as well, and a lot of pressure on them as well, particularly with the emerging arrival of their rival Auckland FC. But I'm Nick from Nickn'detail, and today I'm going to be previewing the Wellington Phoenix's 2025-26 A-League men's season, which kicks off next weekend in Perth. So let's get into it. That's right, the Wellington Phoenix, safe to say, last season had a lot of expectation on them. Like I said, they had their best season to date a couple of years ago where they finished second. And yeah, a lot of pressure, particularly with Auckland FC coming into the league, that the Phoenix would once again show their dominance in New Zealand football. But that just didn't even happen last season. It didn't start too bad for them, but they very much saw it fall off midway through the season, and they were convincingly beaten across the 3 games by their newest rivals up in Auckland. So what are my thoughts for the Phoenix for this upcoming season? I honestly think there will be improvement in this Phoenix team this year. It's pretty clear from what's been said across the preseason that the Phoenix team have had a massive change, a massive reflection on that last season. It's safe to say a lot of people, including myself, were not expecting the Phoenix to bomb out of the league like they did. They actually not had too bad of a start to the season last year. They were very much at the top of the table with their new rivals Auckland FC, but once we saw the injuries kick through very much midway through the season, a lot of the academy players were called upon, none with, of course, professional football experience. Obviously, we really just saw the Phoenix just really fall down the slide and just look absolutely terrible, and their 11th place finishing very much just summing up what was a very poor season from them. But I certainly believe, as I said, things are going to be better. The academy players, those that featured in the first team last year, would have had pretty much a full season of A-League football and professional football under their belts. They're going to be the better off for it. I also believe, of course, the coaching changes as well coming in, that it's pretty clear that, you know, bringing in these new lot of coaches is very much going to help drive this Phoenix team forward, and as well new players they have brought in as well. I think certainly going to help with squad depth, but also quality they have going forward. Because it's safe to say last season there was like no squad depth before. We had a lot of academy players, as I said, called them to the first team, but particularly I think more notably in the attacking department for the Phoenix this year as well, they've got a lot more squad depth they can call upon. Say their injuries, which of course is happening in, of course, in any sport you play anyway, very much kicks in. You've got that cover, and you're not having to rely on your younger, inexperienced academy players. So I believe the Phoenix will improve this season. I believe the changes they have made are actually good. But yes, it shall be interesting to see how these changes will affect upon the Phoenix this upcoming season, because it's safe to say they got a big reality check last season that, yes, Auckland FC showing that with money obviously does all the big talking and makes the big difference in this league, and the Phoenix very much got shown up for that by Auckland FC and what they can do when given a bit more financial, you know, opportunities and structure, that they can build a really good squad to compete for the league. So like I said, the Phoenix, I believe, are going to improve, and the last season's, you know, disappointment very much is going to be a big learning point for them coming into 2025 and 2026. So who is going to be my player to watch? I'm actually going to focus on their new Nigerian striker, Ifeanyi Eze. Now, this guy was signed, of course, Phoenix having lost Costa Barbarouses to the Western Sydney Wanderers. A move that, to be fair, a lot of us probably didn't see coming, because it was pretty clear Costa Barbarouses was saying he wanted to stay at the Phoenix very much for the remainder of his career, but made the surprising decision very much towards the end of the season. Well, actually, it was about a few weeks after the season finished for the Phoenix that he'd be departing the club, and he signed for the Western Sydney Wanderers. To be fair, a very good move for Costa Barbarouses. The Wanderers were a great team last season in the league, finished 4th overall in the standings, and of course, unfortunately, then bowed out in the elimination final stage. But looking at the squad that Alan Stančić is building over there this season, and also they could be a very competitive team in the league once again this upcoming season. So the move for Barbarouses, particularly in a World Cup year coming up, totally makes sense for him. So the Phoenix have gone and signed Ifeanyi Eze, their 26-year-old Nigerian striker. Now, when you actually look at his stats, it's probably not the best. He's played, of course, across his professional career, 86 games. He's only scored 25 goals and picked up 5 assists. So when you look at the bigger picture, it's not fantastic for a striker. Really, with those sorts of games, he should be probably nearing the 40-goal margin at least. So Probably not the best striker signing for the Phoenix, but I certainly believe, of course, with the Phoenix a few years ago with Oscar Zavada, everyone was saying what a terrible signing he was. Well, look what he went on and did, and of course is currently playing in the Eredivisie over in the Netherlands. So just showing that you can have, a very poor couple of years, but come here and you can really revive your career. And I think certainly this could happen for Afani Eze. He's got massive shoes to fill. Costa Barbarouses was the Phoenix's top goal scorer last season with 10 goals and 2 assists across the 26 regular season games. So obviously that's big shoes to fill for the Nigerian striker, and very much for me going to be very interesting to see how he's going to go filling the number 7 shirt occupied by Costa Barbarouses, but also as well just the big weight on his shoulders of being that target man for the Wellington Phoenix. So Afani Eze is going to be my player to watch this season for the Wellington Phoenix. So this leads me now to where I believe the Phoenix will finish for this upcoming season. Well, like I said earlier, how I think they're going to go this season, I believe there's going to be an improvement in the Phoenix. Do I believe this team cracks the top 6? I'm not too sure. I'm not saying the Phoenix are going to crack the top 6. I'm putting them in 8th for this upcoming season. I certainly believe, like I said, there will be a bit of improvement in this Phoenix team. I believe the changes they have made are actually good. They've actually brought in some actually alright players for this upcoming season, but I just don't see the Phoenix quite being ready to once again crack that top 6. Obviously, Giancarlo Italiano very much saying, he very much, lost himself as a coach last season. It's going to be, once again, very interesting to see how he, gets on this season. Last season, safe to say, was his first full season in terms of having the opportunity to sign players, because safe to say when he came in as head coach a couple of seasons ago, he very much has inherited Ufuk Talai's squad, and fair play to him, did very well with it. So last season, of course, first year, being able to very much sign players of his own, didn't quite work out from him there. So, like I said, Phoenix finishing 8th this season, and I just believe with the squad they've got at the moment, even though I believe there will be improvement, I'm just not convinced the side is top 6 material yet. So 8th place for the Phoenix this season, what will be a bit of an improvement from last season, but safe to say there'll be plenty of more work for Phoenix to do to really get back in that top 6 and fighting up at the top end of the league where they were a couple of seasons ago. That's going to be for me. It's going to be a very interesting season for the Phoenix. Safe to say, once again, very much like last season, the pressure is going to be on them, particularly, of course, Auckland FC absolutely demolishing them across those 3 New Zealand derby games. And, of course, as I said in the fixture reveal a while ago, the Phoenix get 2 of the 3 New Zealand derbies in Wellington this year. So, very much no excuses to go and lose to Auckland this year. You've got 2 of the 3 games on your home backyard. You very much should be winning these games. And I think very much from what's been said, it looks positive that the Phoenix are going to be a changed side this year, and very much going to be back fighting in that top 6. But that's going to be it for me, and until next time, I'll see you later.